Alright, what's up guys? What's good? Welcome back to the Strat Chat. Muscle Realists, how you doing? How was your weekend? How was Worlds, man? You guys catch week 1 of Worlds? Man, we've had some bangers, some surprises, some not surprises. Not surprised that NA's knocked out, just saying. It is what it is, right? As a region, we have a lot of flaws. There's a lot of things that that we don't do great. And those are things that need to be addressed. And if until they get addressed, we're going to keep on having some issues as a region. All right, I want to Macro Monday. We're going to be looking at macro decisions. Where are we? How often are we moving? What are we doing? There's a couple of things that we want to talk about, namely one being that we found a leak, found a big leak, and this has been part of our journey on just problem solving. Instead of trying to coach other people, just coaching ourselves and letting you guys see it work in my own games. I think is often the best way to showcase what's going on. So the leak that we have is that we've been moving away for too long. And that too long bit means that we get ourselves into trouble sometimes as far as giving up too much resource to our top laner. And this is very interesting because I love playing Shen. And Shen is going to have one of the hardest times because his ultimate's going to pull him away from his lane in many cases. Now, one of the things that you can do if you're a Shen player is you can call your jungler and say, hey, 5:30, I'm going to hit 6. Can you path towards top after your second clear so that I can ult you and we can just go make a play happen, right? They may not have the vision to make it happen on their own. It may be something that you have to manufacture. So communicating is key, right? Assess, communicate, and effectuate. You have to assess that there's an issue. One of the things that we've been doing is on our roams here, I do prioritize Void Grubs. I think they're great, but me as a top laner, when I come over here, I think I overstay a little bit because a couple times when I watch my own VODs, basically I would stay to the end of this and the enemy top would get their wave into turret. This was especially impactful in games where, or when I say a turret, they get a plate. In games where I had a lead, and suddenly I'm just giving some of it back. I'm letting them push a wave for free when I'm ahead of them, and that's not something that I want to do very often. And then also I like to make plays up in the top lane, or from top lane to mid lane. And I absolutely love it. It's something that I want to keep in my game. Hold on, we're just doing a little damage check against Grasp. I think we're just going to win this. Because it's just that good. It's that rune. Just wanted to do a little damage check. Not that they're doing anything spectacular against us, but once we saw that, they leveled the Q. But in these situations where you have a lead, you really want to step on it. And one of the things I've been doing is not teleporting enough. We already addressed that to ourselves, but then also leaving the lane long enough for my opponent to get some advantage. And even though I'm playing towards my teammates, and I don't mind doing that in an organized team setting where we might be able to effectuate a plan quickly, in solo queue, that's not really going to cut it because you can't count on them to do that. Right, like you can't assume that they're ever going to do the thing that you're doing. This guy is being kind of crazy. Kill him. We're gonna keep on working on our last hitting here. A little bit of duress with the big wave pushing in. I like that they added some jazz to the bots here, but it's still a bit of a pain in the ass that they just int. They basically run it at you. They force you to fight, which is, you know, maybe good practice. This probably should have been another level in Q. We could push a little faster. Do not miss that one. Another thing I was doing is not teleporting, or sorry, not recalling in situations where I was getting waves in. And sticking around, especially for a second wave, and I was basically over and over and over again. I was very guilty of it, and that's something that we want to plug. We want to make sure that we're making an adjustment for that. In some situations, when I push this wave in, I'd like to get it all the way in, so that there's no counterplay. It basically forces the wave back out. So this could have been done better. It means I'm going to be losing an entire wave here, and then potentially some more. If this is if this is a sentient player, then this Garen will probably tax me way harder here. We've been practicing toggling on our champion only toggle. Now this would be a totally fine spot. This is a much better spot to recall than the last one. I'd like to get this cannon because of where it's sitting. I'd like to get this kill. We'll just get a little bit more gold here. I don't really have the push yet to get this all the way in. Now that I'm dominating, I'm okay here. Sometimes in these matchups, it's okay to go not Bomby Cinder, not go for the push. Did I miss up? It looks like I missed up. This is good. This is why we get our training in. Eyeballing which waves are coming in, which ones are not. This triple stacked casters is what got it all the way in. Luckily for me, it's just the melees that I'm missing out on. One caster, it looks like. But this also means that he's going to be able to push this wave all the way in. This Garen is awful. They need to do some work. Let's see how strong lethal tempo is right here. Yep, we want to do a little limit test. Nothing to do with anything else besides just seeing how strong is the lethal tempo at a level where we're just like bashing into each other. Bomby Cinder also not the highest DPS that we can get. New patch, lots of new items. Lots of new scale of the items, right? Actually upgrading your Sunfire is much better than it used to be. It used to be that you just picked up Bomby Cinder and then you could sit on it. But yeah, we're going to be focusing on these plugs, plugging these leaks, seeing if we can't eliminate these little bits that aren't, they're past the barrier of limit tests. They're not limit tests. They're me making a calculated decision to go to help another lane, for example. But if I do, I need to make an adjustment immediately. And so I'm not always going to sign off on any of these plays that are good for my team, right? Like going here, this is an excellent time to go get Void Grubs, right? Sometimes you might set up and say, hey, let's go proxy here, and that's fine too. Void Grubs is absolutely going to help your team win the game, so there's nothing wrong with going to get it. But like if I'm, for example, doing this on my own and my name's not Yorick, this takes a long time, right? Like this takes enough time for that whole wave to get in, start to killing back on a wave of their own. And it does hit me pretty hard. Like this is not a play that I want to make because now I've given up my advantage, right? I no longer have my fighting advantage here. And yeah, congratulations, we got the Void Grubs a little bit faster, but it meant that now my laner has a way back in against me, right? Like this is almost a level 6 Garen. It's not a grass proc. I have to be more careful. Little limit test on the mechanics there. This would be the play where you go and you just say, hey, did just spawn a dummy, right? I should be able to see it. Not here. I can only do it live. So you'd call a jungler over and you'd say, hey, let's go gank. Do something like this, right? And then you make a play happen together. All right, there are a lot of things that I did poorly here. And I kind of knew going in today that I'm kind of asleep. So I don't know that I'm going to play ranked games. I'm not really in a good spot for it. We had an early morning, late night. So I'm going to try to limit test these things in normals, really try to hone in on my skills, and then try to get everything to the best I can. And if I feel sharper, then I'll go into the ranked games. 52 is just not nearly enough. And like obviously the 3 deaths, I don't mind limit testing at all, but do better. And I'm going to be looking at my games today, right? Am I spending so much time away from the top lane, and what is the actual effect? And really going back after the game and trying to measure the amount of gold that we're looking at as a team. Was it a good play? Yes, no. That's great if it is. I think I've made really good plays towards mid lane and towards the pit, getting prio and everything like this. But if I give up some of my top lane lead to go help other people, I immediately need to recalibrate that I'm not winning my lane anymore. I have just given them a wave, right? And that one wave, that half level of experience or however much we're looking at it, depending on the stage of the game, that's going to undulate. That's going to change where they're at relative to me, and I have to be careful. And surely the worst possible situation is like that one that I highlighted right there during that warm-up. If I go to Void Grubs, I spend any amount, right, 1 wave's worth of time, 30 seconds to go kill grubs, take a little bit of damage, and then come back. If I'm not getting anything for that, then that's a pretty big tax. And then that means I'm not healing. It means I'm not back to full HP. It means I haven't shopped. I haven't done anything that really expresses my lead anywhere. And it could be that the better play is for me to just maintain prio in top lane and say, hey, look, I'm helping my jungler to do Void Grubs by not going to Void Grubs, by stepping on this guy's head, right? By saying, no, like, you are stuck here. You got to come through me if you ever want a piece of this jungle. And if you do want to go to the Void Grubs, then I've got a position to collapse on you, and now you're going to lose your wave to the turret. So that's the preferred play. That's what I'm going to be looking to do more today. Might be playing some more champions like Renekton that have a little bit longer presence in lane to be able to effectuate this a little bit better. Maybe be able to get some proxies off. Shen notoriously bad at proxying, and that is one of the biggest weapons that we have as a top laner kit. We've been trying to work on our mechanics, which has been the most challenging thing. 39 with old eyes, old hands. Not the easiest thing in the world, and for a long time we tried to get by playing this game without mechanics, and we basically hit a plateau. We hit a spot where it's like these guys are just gapping us mechanically in lane, and I got sick of it. So it's hard work for me. There's always going to be hard work. Something is hard for me. Pattern recognition comes easily. Working hard at minutia and mechanical and physical strength, a little bit tougher, right? It's a little bit more jarring, but I love the challenges. That's what keeps me going. So today we're going to be working on tightening up those leaks, not leaving for too long. Bring it up. Come up with the right thing, probably. This is an old one because it doesn't have the new changes to the map. But if we're talking about one of these situations where I'm pushing in, I've got them double taxed in, right? And they're behind, so they'd like to keep it here because they're trying to avoid the all-in, right? If I can just get this wave in, rather than leaving for 30 seconds, losing an amount of time that is adequate for them to push this out, then recall, spend their 600 gold, and then come back to me with a half level and 600 gold in their inventory, right? This could be the difference between winning the fight where I had been winning before and now them taking over. And so if I can get rid of this swing, then that's going to be fantastic. Now, it's not going to mean that I never do this. I do want to come and help and make sure when it comes in, but I want to make sure that this is crashed. I want to make sure that I've got prio over this bush especially. And if I do make this play, I want to leave soon enough to catch the wave here and put them in their nightmare situation, which is where, hey, what do I do here? I'm pushed up to 1 versus 2 wave, and I can't get it in. There's not enough strength here. I'm so far behind, especially with champions that can chase you down like Jax in this meta, Renekton, Darius. that are going to have a field day in this longer lane, then this is like checkmate, right? I could almost bait them into trying to push and then going and catching, leave them with no good spots. If they do get it off, then I have to be aware of this fact, right? And not take the all in, because I've just given back the lead. Hopefully that makes sense. That is the goal for today. The other leak, right? The other leak. So the other situation, when we're saying, hey, we're good, we're double stacked, we've pushed up, they're trying to hold this line of scrimmage, and they're basically trying to stall here, and this is their sweet spot, they just want to keep it here, that's fine. When I do win this fight, though, a lot of times I come in, and I've been going in for turret plates. It makes sense. You want to go in for some turret plates. The later in the game, the easier it's going to be to get it, right? If you've picked up more items, you're necessarily going to deal more damage to the turret. However, sometimes I've been coming to stay for number 2. And number 2 is just, there's just not time for 2. Because when you take 2, what you're necessarily doing is spending that time that they are now traveling here. And now you leaving is not guaranteed. If a jungler were to show up in this time frame, or even the fact that they might close this gap while you're in the middle of your recall, they might show up and suddenly you're low on the resources because you just spent everything trying to fight them. They're going to be caught up. They're going to want to fight you at this stage for sure. And then when we do recall, the amount of time it takes us to recall, right? 8 seconds for the recall, 25 seconds to get back to lane. We're talking about over 30 seconds to get back to where we're coming. In that time, that's more than enough time for them to take this wave, crash it, push, and in some cases, they might even get another cycle off, right? Or they could come up, realize how late we were. They could come up proxy and get another cycle off, which would be worst case scenario for us. So both of those, we want to try to nip those plays in the bud. So we're going to try to consolidate these, get recalls quicker, try to be more decisive. A lot of it comes from just seeing the situation a lot of times, but we've seen it. We've just been giving back too much. We've been giving them a little bit too much free time. This is really what it is. We need to deny the free time to our top laner. This is what the whole archetype, the whole message is going to be for today. If we can ever get in a game. How do you guys like the new season? Any big changes? Let's take a peek, see if there's been big move. Now that it's been almost a week. So Vlad, we knew was going to take a huge drop down. Elise, huge spike up. This champion is insane. The reason that this win rate went down is because the vast multitude of people that are playing. Like, look at this. You've tripled the amount of people playing Elise. So obviously the mastery is going to be lower. There's going to be way more people that aren't doing well. But you see that the ban has gone up by 10x. What else do we have? Tier lists. This is over the past 7 days, so we basically have the full patch. This is where we like to go. World one tricks in the past 7 days. So what have they been doing? Skarner, exceptionally strong at Worlds, right? You're seeing this champion with a very large presence. We're going to see a lot more Sejuani too as the tournament continues. Poppy is one of our big ones. So these are the champions that we did identify. Morgana's a surprise. I'm surprised to see Morgana here. This is an exceptionally high win rate, so I want to find out what it is that they're doing. Jungle is at 52.5%. This is interesting. Let's go into... Here we go, one tricks. One tricks, jungle. Look, so the one tricks are playing 23% of the games in the jungle. That's insanely high. Is this just a tiny sample size? Yeah, it looks like it is. Okay, we can probably just disregard everything here because of what it is doing. But what are they doing? They might like it. Very interesting that Ghost is showing up. You'd assume that it's always Flash for the Flash ult. Scorch Claw makes sense for long range W and for getting poke. In the jungle, they're going a burning item, makes sense, faded ashes, and you can see that this doesn't look like it's that crazy. Rabadon's death cap is usually pretty fake stats because you're only getting it when you're recalling with more gold than you should. I don't think we have enough data to go off of. Even if we open it up to D2, the jungle, still not enough. What are they doing in support? See, the win rate actually plummeted down here. Like the most picked page is actually doing very poorly. So it's kind of bizarre. Like what is it that the best players in the world are doing that's different? Storm Surge, 5 copies. Undefeated Storm Surge. That's a tiny amount. Bit of a trap. Bot lane Veigar has such a bad laning phase. What do we think is going to happen? Is Lethal Tempo going to be good enough for Shen to take over some of these matchups that were kind of like feast or famine? Like Aatrox, for example, is really hard to deal enough damage to really chase him out before he could grow up into his Conqueror and sustain. But obviously levels 1 through 4 is that big window to go after him. So I want to get some games in on Lethal Tempo. See what we get. We've got a Yasuo. We'd like to get some sort of bump ups if we could. But also diving on top for these champions, totally fine. We can also jump onto Shen, or sorry, onto Veigar. Veigar normally has enough of action going on with the stun to stop some of the follow through. Really depends on what the rest of the support package looks like. Lucian Nami is a pain in the butt. We try to get Veigar out of that lane by swapping. One thing I will say about Morgana is a solution to some lane swap metas. If you want to play Lucian Nami, for example, and you want to get it out of a Varus or Karma lane so that you can survive level 1 and 2, not get completely zoned off, you can stick a Morgana or a Nasus into bot lane to just pick up waves. We've seen Nautilus doing it as well with a shield and with an AoE. There are a lot of champions that pose good solutions here. Alright, set. We're never going to take full-on all-in, so we're going to just default to our grass pages here. Sometimes it makes a lot of sense that we go here and here in this with this matchup. Can also go here for the most laning power. This is the most laning power. But over the course of many games, it's going to be here. But you know what? They're pretty chunky, right? Lucian's trying to burst. Talia's trying to knock you up and burst. A lot of this comes down to just surviving. They did take away some of the resistances here from Shield Bash. So, sort of hesitant. Maybe I just want to scale this lane. It would probably be totally fine to just scale. And if I'm doing that and playing for the team, then I'm trying to just pick up side waves. Like, it's not a matchup that I'm trying to win. So picking up sideways, surviving, being ready for a big team fight makes a lot of sense. And if we're going team fights, triumphs is fine. We'll try it out. Alright, so we're not getting Prio against the Conqueror set. He can take the fights. We can take really good short trades. Don't want the elongated trade. You have Talia in jungle, Nasus in mid, which is a little bit less scary, although Zed, it can be really tough for Zed to deal enough damage here to the Nasus, because he has to get into melee range, giving room for the Fleet Footwork proc on his head. Julia's way too weak. I can't imagine that she's coming in here. This is another thing we've been working on. It's like, don't show unless you need to. Make them wonder what's going on. And if you show up late, like, they might come up with some misinformation. So actually, I didn't even need to show up for this. Sometimes, and this is in cases where you have a supreme, like, losing matchup, right? Set's one of those champions. We're just gonna get our grass proc off, let the other stuff heal back up. Yeah, I'm thinking with bone plating, maybe I should have gone for the other one. It makes it so his combo is so much worse. Remember how to last hit on this champion? Whoa! No way. He saw it coming. He was waiting for it. Oh, that's no good. Oh, man. Why is she still here? She had the blue? What path did she take? 24? Did she circle back or... No. We saw her here. Why do I have a mental fuzz here? Alright, this guy... Alright, everything's bad. I'm super tired. I'm almost definitely not playing ranked today. We need a break for this. This guy's trying to get a recall in. We can't stop it, but we can try to get the most out of this push. Two long swords, I don't want to take it. This is something that we have been doing poorly on, which is actually pressing tab when people are coming back. This is a skill that we want to add to our game, so I'm definitely going to try to add this for the rest of this game. Might have been a roam window once we saw that I was pushing out. They're low on mana. Maybe they're right to not even contest in any way, shape, or form. try to dive the Veigar, I may try to go in. As they hit, there we go. They take aggro. The moment they take aggro is the moment that we go in, baby. Oh, we should have held the wave. Damn it. All right, this is a miss. I could have held this wave. But again, that's one of those things that we were talking about. That would be an absolute team play with potentially not that much coming back for me. All right, what do we want here? I think, all right, so we're going to go selfish stats the way that we have kind of told ourselves that we want to be playing these matchups. Maybe even the control words too much, because I'm not going to be able to defend it anywhere. We don't even have like void grubs to talk about right now. But super happy with the kill in the bot lane, bail them out of this awful situation. Lucian Nami on their biggest spike actually makes Veigar go and get an extra Dark Harvest stack and gets out of the worst part of that matchup. So absolutely happy to do it. And it was even best part about it was that it was when Set had very few options for pushing back on me. We're going to try to remind ourselves to put extra points into W this game. Alright, he's taking a recall, so I'm actually going to try to get this plate wasted here. Maybe that's just not a good play. Lucian Nami going to win anyways, because that's how much stronger they are against a Veigar. Could have skipped that last minion to go grab this wave and keep my freeze going. Now, I have to remind myself, I'm going to press tab when he comes back. This is something I haven't been good at. This is a little bit of a leak. We're going to try to solve it as best as possible. We do have a little bit of a window here with extra minions, but he is stronger. Phage. Trying to ult me backwards. I'm short on some cooldowns, so I'm just going to chill for a bit. We don't mind taking it slow, right? It's okay to have losing matchups. I'm going to outscale this guy anyways, so I don't need to be taking this, right? He's level 8. He's got Phage over my Giant's Belt, so he's going to be stronger here. I respond to his stun with my W to make sure that he can't get any extensions off. And then taunt backwards, try to dodge the rest of the kit. And that's how we try to play it, right? We're trying to bleed out the minimum here. He's walking away, which means he's going to lose this plate. What's up? How you doing? I appreciate that. Thank you. 18 seconds. I could let my team know, right? Wrong button. Boomer hands. 12 seconds. I'm ready to ult here in a moment. So... do I go for anything? It looks like Set's leaving as well. I don't want them to take this play. I want them to take this play. It's garbage. No, I'm not going for that. Like, there's no reason. If you're... one thing you have to be super, super careful about is that you don't leave to a bad fight. If you leave to a bad fight, not only is there a chance that you fail where you go, in which case you're just down extra resources, but also it means that you're absolutely leaving a situation where the Set will then get maximum punish off, right? He'll get free farm, free experience, free everything going forward in your lane. There's a chance that I don't even need to do that. There's one, I was kind of pinging it for so long that I wasn't sure what the resources were going to be. So it's a chance that I maybe didn't need to do it. I also, because I'm talking, I didn't ward right here, which is a play I absolutely want to make. And the result is that Set gets 2 plates for himself on, you know, I get an assist, so it's pretty close. He doesn't have his ultimate. I actually could have fought him for it. The Snidley's kind of running it, so we're going to have to be a little bit careful. And we can kind of guess, you know, going into a game when you're trying to figure out like who to follow, what to do. If you're not sure about how matchups go, one thing you can look at is like what you do know about the game. If you know that junglers shouldn't get a leash, and Nidalee's sitting there asking for a leash and Talia's farming without one, you already know, and you can already make an assumption, this is going to be a jungle gap. Alright, I could teleport bot. I would need to be positive that I'm absolutely going to be the difference in that fight. I'm not positive that it's going to be the difference. I may just teleport and they might just walk away, in which case Set would get this. And that's the leak that we're trying to plug for ourselves. I need to know that when I'm going, it's absolutely going to be the right play. So like, for example, right here with my wave pushing out now we go. All right, nope, I missed my angle. But now I'm just going to do it so that Veigar goes to this lane. Let's rotate. Call for them to move somewhere else. And it looks like they're not doing it. So I'm just going to leave. He's walking back to this lane, and that's fine. And this is the price, right? And you can imagine a world where if you're communicating with your team, this is a great play. You're happy to do this because Veigar will go pick this up. He bounces the wave. He's wave clearing against a Set, another matchup where he wants no business doing anything with them. And it's just as lethal for him as the Lucian, maybe even less, right? Because Lucian's got that long range advantage against him. So you'd want to rotate here. This guy's just sticking to bot lane because he thinks it's his job to be here, but he's really missing out on a chance, and he's just like typing stuff and not thinking about it. And this is the thing that you want to avoid, right? This guy's stuck because in this moment he's debating with someone whether or not it's even a good play, rather than like trying to figure out why it might be good. Where should I go right now? What move should I make? Calling out this cannon because I might want to turn this into an offensive wave before I teleport bot. Keeping an eye on HP bars. People are pretty low. Set being here means I probably don't want to do it. It's not going to be a problem for me. We get a Heartsteel proc. It's not the end of the world. Not great either, though. It also means we get to level up. And hey, look at this situation. We left a couple times, and we even gave this guy too much, but we still hit 11 first. And that's a new thing for me. That's something that I want to continue playing for as much as possible. Should have pinged that he has no ult because he has no ult. That guy got scared. Or he just button mashed. one way or the other. No big deal though. This is where she's supposed to be poking him. Go. Smite. Okay. We can do a little bit better, maybe. Not bad. I wanted the Heartsteel proc. Maybe a little bit greedy, but it got the job done. I really need to get something that can push. And you know what? New patch might just be Bomby Cinder always first, but I didn't want to get in a situation where if I was pushing under turret that I draw aggro. This is TP. Not sticking around for Wither. Titanic Hydra, totally okay. In this game where I think I need to be much more of a controller for my team, I think it's going to be more like a Bombies and Iceborne Gauntlet. Like Veigar, 10 times out of 10 should have already been mid here and protecting against this push. It's tempting to actually teleport down there. If we had more knowledge about anyone going, like how long it would take them, whether or not Set's already on his way, then maybe we'd think about getting there. But Veigar's supremely late. This guy's 13 versus 12. He's got 2 completed items versus my 1.5. So it's in an absolutely tremendously bad spot. All I can do is hope to wave clear against him. Ouch. Gonna take my stun. Now it could be that they got so much leads because I screwed up, right? If I go back and look and see, like, all right, how many windows did I miss on? Did I need to leave for the Zed versus Nasus kill? There's a lot of situations I might find that, hey, like, maybe I don't actually need to be. This guy's slow pushing. Let's see. Okay. Well, I mean, guys, if the call is to come back, then come back. Like, get somebody else to come here. Buff. Red buff. Keep auto attacks. Keep the auto attacks coming. She just lost her red buff. That little bit of a slow is enough to get into the range there. Actually, it's been right. And that's one of the things that's going to happen too when you're working on something. There may be something else. Oh yeah, I'm awful, dude. I'm so bad. And especially when we're working on something, other things are going to fall apart. And that's okay. Because we're trying to add to the toolbox. Right? And it's sort of like spending $100 on a new tool. You have to lose some money to get the new tool. And then once you have the new tool, you do one job with it. Okay, maybe it was worth Once you do 2 jobs with it, yeah, 100% it's worth, right? And then from then on, it's just a permanent part of your toolbox, and it becomes something that you've invested in yourself to do it, and then you're better. We have a play here. Maybe I could have disappeared off the map for a second. Make them hesitate about whether or not Shen's coming. Maybe it wouldn't have worked anyways. Do not want to be in range of his Wither. But I want to take... Go in, Italy. Go in, Italy. Go in, Italy. Team's not here. I can't do it. They've got a foot out the door. It is what it is. But my awareness on the things that I want to work on, it's good. I'm happy with it, right? There's things that we're going to look for a little bit more. Go. That's okay. No, full clearing's fine. They talk about... You just have to do it really, really well. Alright, so let's take a peek. Now, I'm not going to be too hypercritical because, like I said, I am super tired. So the strategic things are things that I want to keep in the toolbox. I'm not going to be super sensitive to everything. But I did get W's off in response to stuns. That's something I was very, very happy with. And then playing the lane was okay. I definitely kept it to like its minimal state to try to play through other places. It's a tough lane, right? There's no ifs and or buts about it. There's only short windows where I can play with the W up. And we did okay. We can do a little bit better. So early, it's basically just letting him walk up. I'm very happy with myself here. This is something we tried to add. Don't give them anything. Like, take maximum at all times. Didn't need to take this trade. Just got chunked for a little bit. This was not good. This is where we said we forgot how to last hit with Shen. We missed almost all of these. I didn't ping that Shen, that set had a ward in those spots. We have to be careful. So this is one of those windows that I'm talking about. This is the sort of play that I do all the time. Push in the wave and go roam. And this might have been a window for me to go after him. I know that he doesn't have one of his spells, right? I've only seen him cast his E. I haven't seen anything else. He's not going to have his Q for damage or his W for damage, one of his big sources. So maybe I should have just picked a fight right here, right? And so backing up, I think this is what I wanted, but at the same time, I went a second point in Q to help me with the wave clearing. And I think that that might have been a mistake. So in this window, if I hit this with Qs up, I think I'm in a really good spot, actually. And then he needs to catch 2 melees to get the amount of experience. So he could actually walk up. He's basically 1 hit away, assuming he didn't miss one of the melees to go place the sword. He should be 1 melee away from hitting level 3. So the moment he comes up and just like starts a trade with me, these things are just going to die by accident, except because I draw aggro, nothing starts hitting these things. If you're the set in this situation, you absolutely want to spend 1 auto attack to kill these, because it's going to give you an extra 4 AD, 100, 100 HP and armor and access to another ability, right? So it's 100% worth missing out on 1 punch, because you're immediately getting more than that punch worth back in resources, right? There's the level 3. I no longer have the window. So this was something I could have done better for sure. And now this is, Alois talks about it a lot. This is my turn, right? Going forward, it's the 305 window. So any kind of full clear that Talia would go for is going to be ending in about 10 seconds, about 3:15, and good Talias will be finished in this part of the jungle. So I have to make sure that I don't get caught in a weird spot here. And this is probably one of those spots. And the fact that I didn't have the W, this is in hindsight something that I want to change. Because with W, I'd be okay just standing in this. That'd be fine. I could let him take the entire fight, and only once he taunted me or crashed me, then I could dash through him to dodge the haymaker. I tried to do it for an extra like turret shot here, but now I'm in a weird spot where now this wave is pushing out. I don't have the way to, you know, he could literally go and help gank the Nidalee. He's got wards on this map right now. Nidalee's got a very slow clear for this game, right? You should be way faster. This person probably needs to go into practice tool and practice their clear. But we also know that Talia now has perfect information. And I didn't express this to the Nidalee. I should have. That's something I can do. Another thing we can do better. Early smite, this is a really bad habit, right? Especially if you're going to be this slow on your clear. Like Talia, in many situations, is going to come gank here. This was another spot. Like I started to play my aggression, my turn, level 4 versus level 3, but I didn't realize how slow the Nidalee was being in her clear. So that means that I'm going to lose in this spot here. Probably was not right to flash away. Probably just should have tried to continue this fight. Let's go take a closer look. So I go for my potion, realizing that he doesn't have the resources left, right? So I've got the minions, I've got cannon and 6. I'm going to have 9 casters, even more actually. Yeah, 9, right? We're going to have the 9 casters, which is enough to take any fight, right? We get in this situation. This happens a lot in our Teemo games, so we're super comfortable in Teemo games doing this. I need to be a little bit more prepared on how I'm going to approach this as Shen. He was waiting for this E. I absolutely walked into it. This should have been a situation where I walk up, keep my cooldowns, just press Q, get my shield, and start pounding on him, right? And if I have my W up, then there's no real counterplay. And because my E got blocked by his, I've got nothing left to try to kill him with. In this situation versus this haymaker, I should just flash right back here and then continue this fight. If he keeps on fighting me, then these casters will all turn on him. So I take it and then try to walk away from the Talia spell, but instead I could have taken this whole fight, moved the fight away from the Talia, would have had the added benefit that a jungler who's on time would have had some time to pop up. I could go and play, do a little bush play, and when if they continue chasing and I can buy some time, maybe Nidalee can get a double kill out of a situation like this. I tried to walk her over, but this was an instinctual move to a jungler that would be here, not one that actually realized. So right here, first 4 minutes, we've already got a lot of things we can work on. That's what we've got on the docket today. If I'm going to pick the one biggest thing, I was happy with keeping track. I tabbed his items. I was happy knowing where we would be strong. I have to play a little bit stronger in the moments where I am strong, right? That little window. We had 2 little windows, but in those 2 little windows, I can be much stronger. 3 versus 2 and 4 versus 3. We can't help the Nidalee clear any faster. So I can be more aware of where she's at. But certainly, if you're playing Nidalee in this game, you want to practice your clear. She is the most mechanically intensive jungler. Everything that she's tuned around is how quickly pros can do it, where they're throwing their spear at the next camps, that they're in jump range. As the camp is coming out, they jump to it and then get their E off. Like there's all sorts of min-maxing that they do. I would not recommend Nidalee to anybody that's not trying to go pro. She's too hard. She's scaled for those people. She is a lot of fun. You know, it's a lot of work though. It's not worth the work that you have to put in to feel like you're doing things. And even then, when you put in all the work and do everything to dominate your lane, it's still just one lane. And you don't have that much impact over the rest of the game. You have to get in their face all the time. All the time as that champion. You have to get a lead, press a lead, live in their jungle, play high octane, and all it takes is a losing mid matchup to make Nidalee worthless, because you can't invade if your mid is losing. And what are you supposed to do then? If you're just like, hey, I'm supposed to win this jungle matchup, yeah, you can kind of go side to side a little bit, but Nidalee's biggest strength is being able to get in their face, take away their camps, fight them, get experience leads, and go. All right, guess today's League of Legends champion. I guess we'll start with Shen. Support top. Human. So let's see. It's one of these roles. It's not energy, so we're looking probably at mana range. 2010. Male. Maybe human. Ranged. Lad. Okay. Nope. So it's more likely that it's going to be it has to be the support. Support could be Noxus or Shadow Isles. It's going to be mana. 2010 as well. Male ranged support, human magically altered. That probably leads us to Brand. Oh, Brand was 2011? Okay. Human magically altered, ranged mana support. I'm gonna cheat. Swain? I would have given me credit for middle, I think. Maybe not, though. Fresh was later than 2010. I guess it could be Swain. Swain, human magically altered from Noxus. That makes sense. Let's try it. Yeah, I don't like this. This throws me off. I'm happy to get it right, but like, not supposed to be support. All right, quote. Haven't come back from the fields. It's been 3 days. I don't have the sound on, so I don't know who this would. Haven't come back from the in 3 days. Someone with an avenging or supportive bit, maybe a lost. Gonna be like Teemo. Who would be worried? There would be someone that needs to be worried. Haven't come back. I have no idea. We're just gonna take some guesses. People that lost friends is probably from Ionia for the most of the farmland, but Sona.
haven't come back from the fields. It's been 3 days.
Okay, that was not so hard. Happy. Cool. Cool marksman. Cool marksman, shades marksman. Cool sunglasses. Disappears. Puff of smoke. Puff of smoke. It's a girl? Oh my goodness. We're really gonna have trouble with this one.
No one fights alone in the mist.
Let's see. This could be like a dash or a puff of smoke. Or fast. Don't know what this is. Who knows? Maybe they don't. Maybe they don't know what any of this is. All right, let's see. Can't look at the marksman. I mean, it can't be Janna. Could it be Janna? No. Someone with a bow who's cool. I thought this would have been Ash, but this doesn't work. Who's cool? This could just mean ranged. I don't have Aurora in the lexicon. Quinn? Is there anyone with sunglasses? No. Vayne? Vayne because she goes invisible. There we go. You know what? In a world, I thought Vayne when I saw this because of the Project Vayne and the glasses, and I should have come back to it. This is go invisible. This is dash. Yep. All right. This looks like a Spirit Blossom skin, which means that that's probably Yone. There we go. Spirit Blossom. All right, not bad. We finished strong. We finished strong. All right, we have the push in mid. This is a ridiculously good matchup for Brand. Free poke on the Aatrox. Just has to dodge the Q sequence. Skarner has way more gang presence than Yi. These guys are going to try to all-out scale. It's a full armor comp. I've gone as E. The E is not the best sequence. Like, yeah, maybe you get one stun, but it's not enough damage. You want your Q so you get sustained damage here. Why did it stop? Alright, boom, boom, boom. It's too bad that Misfortune didn't block the first hit, right? You've got more HP to start with this item. You also want Senna to be able to Q over your head, and then she can kite backwards and be totally happy. I don't think she went Strut either. Strut's the best level 1 ability. Extra attack speed for trades is much better than the Q. That's way too much damage. Blunder by me. That's a huge blunder. My bad, my bad. Especially because they both have long swords. Like, that's just so wildly bad for me. One of the things that we were training up, right? Is this the Fright Night Pike? I guess it must be, right? What a weird looking skin. What do you guys think? In front of me, baby. In front of me, baby. Oh, why did he threw that way? It's okay. If you do have a duo to play with, it makes Senna that much more enjoyable because you can like actually stand together. It's very hard to do it in a solo queue game. All right, wave's bouncing back. She's going to go for this. I get to go for my roam timer. Pike gets a ward right here. So this is actually perfect timing for us that I get to move out. They don't have any idea. I get to hold this wave for my mid laner. There's a lot of things to love here. I get to stop this guy's back. Lots to love here. Beautiful timing. Charge. I'm gonna go here before I cycle back. Misfortune's fine alone. There might be some action up in the top lane. It looks like we're actually winning here. You guys want to try a dive? I would love a dive here. If this guy realizes that there's a globe here, then he might not go for a fight. Guys. Misfortune, no. Right, in this situation, just turret hug. No reason to be out there. Okay, though. We're gonna go straight to the grubs. Casting that E makes all your last hits much, much harder, and that's something that you do not want to be doing. I do not want that kill. It's so bad. Who are you hitting, man? Who are you hitting? There's a lot of things that we're not seeing eye to eye on here. Doesn't matter if they're wrong.
An ally has been slain.
Kill him. Hit that Q.
Enemy rampage.
So would have preferred that that guy got the plate. That's okay. Maybe we still got it. This is not safe. Really? That fast, huh? No thanks.
An enemy has been slain.
Nice. Garner should be helping to get this push off because Aatrox has this lane. See, big poke, big poke. No ultimate here. Got a little flank angle. Trying to get an auto attack off. We don't want it. Got him. Keep pushing.
An ally has been slain.
We tried. We're trying, man. We're trying. Ow. Okay. Big worth. Big worth. Big worth. This guy's feeling himself though. That was his ignite. Okay.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
We'll find a way, folks. We'll find a way. Senna always does. We got 44 stacks. You really want to tag this plate before you leave for that red? Definitely pick up the red buff, fam.
An enemy has been slain. Double kill.
Maybe we can bait them into clearing this off. It's actually inconsequential completely. A nice shot. I'm gonna share this just to make sure it goes. It's much more important that she gets the gold than me getting the 1 soul. Rock.
Your team has destroyed a turret. Has been destroyed.
There you go. Rather give it to the brand whenever possible, but that's okay. We'll poke. Gonna keep on attacking things because it's gonna bring my Q cooldown back. We're also gonna get a ward behind them if we can. No. If other people commit, then maybe we can get something. I think that's what he's asking people for, but like, also you just don't need to, we don't have the minion wave, we don't have any extra attention here. Got red buff and blue buff here, so we can try to corral him. Yes, that's what we needed. A win. This will be a win too. That's a win. He's gonna be a win as well if they show up. Oh, he's just dead already? Dude, I'm super happy with how we're playing this game right now. I have my heal, didn't use it. I was late. Oh, and I couldn't get the heal off to dodge the kill. Nice play by the Pike. I'll give them some credit. That was kind of neat. Missed 3 heal windows really. So it's damn, it can definitely do that mechanically better. All right, so let's take stock. What's going on? We've got this advantage here, we've got this advantage here, and then they've got this. So Alawi should be going to bot lane. She can push out, start collecting more turrets because she's absolutely gigantic. Can't walk in there, guys. It's a bug. Going so deep. Oh my gosh. Uh-oh. One more. One more. We really want Alawi to be here. That's too bad. Don't have him. That's okay. Attack speed is healing. This will be something permanent for us. They're actually going to overreact and try to go stop this, which means Misfortune will have this plate to this turret to go to get. Pike is trying to get something back here, but he doesn't have that much turret killing pressure, although he is gigantic as well with big lethality build. Nothing to be had here. This is our compensation, which is not good enough, especially since Pike's taking something back on the other side. And a better turret at that. So this is a colossal L from the Alawi. But you know what? We can communicate that to her. So really, it's an L for us. We didn't let her know that this is what we want to do. This guy's got just Bork. I don't think he can take it. Can he take it? Alright, now we do it. Huh? Huh? As far, we can bear it. Like now. They are not prepared for this. Anilou is still not coming. This is such a good spot for us to like take a prolonged fight, but wow.
Ally has been slain.
I actually don't want to overpush this. What Brand just did is not the best. This is inting right now, like. Guy's gonna have himself a tough game. Nice try.
Your turret has been destroyed.
I think we would love to have
Turret has been destroyed. Your inhibitor has been destroyed.
against this team. Thoughts? What do you get? We got one. We still have supers somewhere too, right? So like there's a world where we could get away. Nice, there we go. Hey, 800 gold, I'll take it. Oh my gosh. Big. There you go. Fights in 2 different directions. No. I have to take my responsibility for this. Kaisa got big with me being gone. We also gave her a free kill in the bot lane. That's on me. Alright, I am so tired. I'm sure that what I'm putting on screen is not even as good as I think it's bad. Or I think it's bad, and I think that it's probably worse than that because we're so tired. So I'm going to sign off a little bit early tonight. Today. Catch you guys next time, though. Training Tuesday tomorrow. We'll be live at noon. We'll be working on new skills, trying to get even better rotations, trying to get micro skills tomorrow, right? Ins and outs, the micro transactions, mini trades. We're going to work on our trade patterns tomorrow. So we'll be there at 12.